Hi, this is Living Life with Donna. Haven't been on in a while, but I've got, it's summertime. We just had the 4th of July. Had to give poor Molly some trazodone because of the fireworks. But things I want to talk about today is things that you maybe thought you'd find in Appalachia, but actually I find it here too. Must have carried the seeds. It's this plant. I don't know if anybody would know what that is. Hold it up so you can see it. It's called poke. I don't know if you ever heard of poke berries, poke salad festival, poke salad Annie, the song. Those are the little seeds that carry and that make the poke. And all you have to do, we're going to make some poke today, is you just take it and you fold it in half. And you want to make sure you get this rib out. So you just go like that and the rib should just come right out. If it don't, that's okay. If you have a little left, get the rib out. Make sure you've got a pot of salt water in case there's any bugs or different things on there. I've got my pot, another pot on the stove. That's going to start the boiling water so that way you can just transfer it right away. And you want to make sure that and I like these little tiny ones like this. When they're this small, I just take the bottom stem off. I don't bother peeling that little thing out of there because they're just too small and tender. We're basically when they're really big. I have heard some old timers will actually take the stalk part. They actually will cut the stalk part up and they also will fry that up too. I have not done that. And you can see the root. It kind of almost looks like a radish. But it was kind of growing in my neighbor's yard next door by their fence. And I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and boil it up because it is good for your physic. It tastes just like, well, it tastes sort of like spinach. If you like spinach, if you like any type of a green, mustard green or collard green, then you more than likely will like poke. And I'm sorry for my appearance, but I'm getting ready to have open heart surgery. And so I'm not at my best. But anyway, I just wanted to do this because this will grow wild. I noticed it grown at church. Then I noticed it grown here. And I'm in the city. So, the birds carry the berries, those little berry things. And so now this is not just maybe growing in southern states, but also growing here. And it might even be growing in your yard. Maybe on your property and you just don't know what it is. And, it does take a minute, by the time you peel it, put it in the salt water there, make sure everything's off there. And then you do have to, I've heard several opinions. Now, this is what I do. I boil it 3 times. So you boil it, drain off the water, put it back in, boil it again, drain off the water, and then boil it for the 3rd time. And then once you drain the 3rd time, then you can fry it. Now, most people will do with eggs. They will fry it with eggs, just like maybe you would spinach. I kind of like to season it with just maybe a little red pepper. I also like to maybe just put a little bit of an onion in there. I've got spring onions growing in the garden, but you certainly can put any kind of seasoning, just a little oil or butter, just like, like if you would spinach. I don't necessarily like it with the eggs mixed in, but some people might. This is very, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty high in the vitamins and things that you need. It is very good for your physic. Not to the point like a laxative, but just like if you're eating a lot of spinach, it's very good for your innards. And so if you see this plant, now my sister has on her phone, I didn't know about this. I guess you can have on your phone a app and it's a plant identifier. And if you, I guess, hold it up to it, it will tell you what that plant is. So if you happen to see something growing like this and you're not, maybe sure what it is, you see a stalk. Let me see if I can get you a bigger one. If you see like a stalk like that with leaves and things growing and you're just not sure what it is, you can use that little plant identifier and it will tell you what it is. And it really does come in handy. There are a lot of wild herbs. You'll see things on obviously the TikTok, YouTubes about wild herbs, people foraging, things that you can eat that you might not know about. And this does grow in my yard down home too. It, like I said, it is a little bit of work, you know, because you said you do have to sit here and try to get that stem out and you peel it off the leaf. So it does maybe take a minute, you know, to kind of prepare it. But once you do, I mean, this is something that can feed your family. I don't even see why you couldn't mix maybe the eggs, potatoes. You could put, just like spinach, you could put green peppers in there, onions, and kind of fry it up. And you'll note, I'll make a part 2 so that you can see what it looks like after it's fried up, because it will. I always thought, well, how can you tell when it's done? It does change kind of like color. You can just see the consistency and you can see a difference in it, and that's how you know that it's fried up and it's ready to go. And it's very nutritious. It's something, you know, in this day and age in our economy, let's face it, things that are so sky high, this is something that you could maybe make if you like vegetables and different things, and maybe you want to try something if you exotic. This, and you have access to this. This would be good for your family. You can make it stretch a meal, and it's healthy, and it's free. You know, it grows wild. If you took some of the seeds, maybe, and even put them in your yard if you have room. Now, it is kind of invasive, so you don't need a whole lot, and it will spread and it will grow year after year. So, like this that I got today was a volunteer in my yard, but it was growing on through to the fence to my neighbors. But it was a volunteer. I didn't plant that. All the poke that's by my house, I didn't plant. It just, the seeds, the birds carried the seeds, and I might have carried some from church, and it just grows, and it will come back year after year. And so I hope you like just a little video. Like I said, and I've got the water here. It's salt water, and then I like to soak it and rinse it in there, and rinse it a couple of times before I put it in my pot of boiling water. Now I got a whole bag here. As you can see, it's a big jewel bag. Now, this seems like a lot, but just like spinach, you know, when you put spinach in the pot, you could have a big pile. This is going to cook down. So even though it looks like a really lot, this whole bag probably will, you know, it'll cook down just maybe for 1 or 2 servings. You know, so like I said, it does take time. And if you have a bigger family, you know, obviously you're going to have to pick more. Because you're going to need more. And like I said, I don't know if restaurants might be doing some of these other, maybe restaurants and things are now starting to carry, you know, on their menus, you know, they have all these fancy things like, I don't know, this duck and this, like, different things. You might find it in a restaurant. I know they have one here. His name is Kevin Hickey, and he owns the Duck Inn, and he does have poke on the menu. So it is becoming a little bit more popular. And so if you feel like maybe spinach is too expensive to buy at the store and you have access to this for free, you're going to get the same quality nutritions and different things that you would from spinach. It does, like I said, have a different taste. It's not exactly like spinach, but if you like spinach and, like I said, other greens, you're gonna like this. Now, some people don't like to do it when the leaf gets this big, because it kind of gets a little rough maybe tasting, but I don't mind it. I do like the younger ones, but I don't mind a few bigger ones. This is kind of the size that I like. If I can get that size, it's not maybe as bitter, but once you add your oil, whatever oil you want, olive oil, corn oil, avocado oil, into your pan, however you're going to saute it with maybe a little pat of butter, it doesn't make a difference. So if you would stay tuned, like and subscribe. I haven't, like I said, been on in a while. I will make a part 2 so that you can see, once it's boiled up, what it looks like. And I thank you for watching it. I hope this was a little informative for you. And until we meet again, this is Living Life with Donna, and I hope you try this.